of working hard. They have worked in various areas before being elected to become members of this county assembly. And if you students, you can also work hard, it will also bring you to this level, or you become an MP, or you become a governor, and that cannot come without the necessary discipline. Therefore, I would like you to remain focused, to also watch how the assembly matters are done. In this assembly, we represent our people and also make legislation in this assembly. We also do oversight work, which also end up in this assembly in form of reports or in form of statements which are brought by members. Therefore, there is a lot to learn in this assembly. So welcome and open your mind, and whatever you learn here, you also take it back to your school, also to educate those who have not been able to manage to come today. Thank you and welcome.
That is for our visitors. Engineer Ndolo is our minority leader, a respected leader of this assembly, and we appreciate him. We have Honorable Bishop Jonathan Mudoka, a neighbor to Ukia Ward.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, as the immediate neighbor of Ukia Ward, and not even immediate neighbor, we share the sub-count where in 2013, I fight as a member of parliament, and some of the teachers we're having here, they voted for me. I think I have the honors to welcome them and take this opportunity to welcome the children and the teachers. I tell them that this is the place they need to be. Every journey starts with a single step. The journey which has been taken by these children, it is not just meant to end in education level, but it will end at the career level. And the small things mean a lot to people's lives. Whereby I am saying, this is a wonderful opportunity for all the teachers to learn. We have teachers in this assembly, so don't take your career to be ending at the teaching level. You can also become politicians. We have children, or we have people who have grown from being prefects at school, captains at school, and now they are members of the county assembly. So if you're one of those, you can also see where your future is leading to. Finally, I will say that we are living in a competitive world. And the competition is not only by learning in class. Competition is also coming in as a way of what you observe and the experience you get by observation, by what you do, and a fact of involvement. This is an exposure these children need to honor along their life. Finally, Paul said this in Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. May that Christ strengthen our children to do that which they are able to do wherever they go, at the university, at their homes, at their churches, at their points of work. May the Lord grant them favor so that one time they may come and sit where we are sitting in future. Thank you and God bless you.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Chairperson, Committee on Selection Committee, to table the first report of the Committee on Selection on the harmonization of County Assembly Membership Committees 2025. Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Before I table this report, I want to welcome the pupils, teachers, and parents of Kaumoni Primary School. Feel at home, feel welcome, learn with us, and feel free to have any session with this assembly for your learning experience. I want to encourage you, when you go back, make efforts to become people who can be depended on in this society, and people who can be called upon in this society, because the stage you are in is just the same stage we passed through. All these people, we were not born the way you can see us, with ties. We were born in some villages. Myself, I was born in a village in Boni. I used to walk to school without shoes. I used to wear a very short, what you call in quotes, kinyasa, and sometimes with torn pullovers and things like that, but we made it. So you have the opportunity to make it. You have the opportunity to make your parents very proud, and your teachers and your neighbors, and this county, this count in all. So I want to encourage you, just feel free and move forward with that encouragement. So, Honorable Speaker, I stand to table the report of the Committee on Selection on the Harmonization of Assembly Committees Membership 2020, the first report of the year 2025. I table.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Chairperson, Committee on Selection.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice of motion for the motion, the first report of the Committee on Selection on the Harmonization of Assembly Committee Membership, the first report of the year 2025. Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Member for Kigumbuli North to request a statement from the Chairperson, Committee on Water.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir. Pursuant to the provision of Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 39(2) of the County Governments Act 2012, revised 2020, and Standing Order 5th of the Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson Committee on Water, Sanitation and Irrigation regarding the shoddy works of the construction of masonry tank at Kadhiaka Market in Kikumbuli North Ward. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the financial year 2023-2024, 4.5 million was allocated for the construction of 225-meter cubic masonry tank at Kadhiaka Market next to the chief's compound in order to provide water to the residents of market goers of the market and Kadhiaka Market. Mr. Speaker, sir, the tank was constructed as was planned, but upon testing with the water, the tank was leaking all round. In attempting to stop the leakage, the contractor has done plastering inside the tank once and again went ahead to apply bituminous paint twice. However, the tank still leaks. Mr. Speaker, sir, the leaking of a newly constructed masonry tank at the testing stage indicates construction flaws and poses serious dangers to the market dwellers with the possibilities of bursting should a large volume of water be pumped into it. Mr. Speaker, sir, the chairperson should therefore should therefore clarify on the following points, Mr. Speaker. Whether the department is aware that the newly constructed masonry tank at Kadhiaka Market is leaking and the dangers the leaking tank poses to the market dwellers. B, if yes, what action has the department taken to have a properly constructed tank installed and to protect the market dwellers from the dangers posed by the leaking tanks? C, who allowed the contractor to conduct repair works of plastering and application of bituminous tank to this newly constructed tank, activities which were not included to the bill of quantities, Mr. Speaker? D, whether the contractor has been paid off. If yes, when was the contractor paid and how much was paid? E, what action has the department taken to ensure that a properly constructed mushroom tank is installed at the market as had been planned? F, provide the engineer's supervision report indicating the nature of works done, the defects identified, and the corrective recommendation given to enable the handover and eventually use of the tank. G, when will the properly constructed tank be installed in the market, and who will bear the cost of construction work? Mr. Speaker, just to add, we go into great length to look for money to try to provide water to our people. All over this county, people are crying of water. And it is disheartening, Mr. Speaker, when you have put 4.5 million, and in the request, I requested that Kimawasco be the one to construct this tank. How the chief officer went ahead to give a construction to somebody else, that is something they'll need to tell. Now, Mr. Speaker, we put that money because our people are lacking water. When we put a reservoir tank, we expect it to have been constructed well and people should be enjoying flow of water. It takes many hours to go looking for water, and we are trying to cut that cost. Mr. Speaker, what is happening now, these are structural defects that have happened in this tank. A bathroom tank leaking and you start repairing before even handing over, that is, the engineers are playing at us. It's like they think we cannot know what is happening. Mr. Speaker, witnessing the departmental engineers going around to check and giving such a recommendation is like abuse and abusing our intelligence. And Mr. Speaker, when a person gets sick of malaria, you don't treat the symptoms. These are symptoms of a defective construction. Mr. Speaker, if you have malaria, if you're infected by malaria, you present with headache and fever. But the cure of malaria, you must be given antimalarials. If I give you painkiller, you'll think you are okay, but you'll die the next day. So, Mr. Speaker, we are refusing these tricks they're playing us, treating symptoms. We want a properly constructed tank, and they should stop taking us around. Mr. Speaker, I am serious about this. Thank you very much.
Chairperson, Committee on Water. Before the chairperson, I can see, sorry, chairperson, member for Kikumbuli North.
South.
Sorry, I withdraw.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I make the comment, I wish also to join my colleague, Honorable Ndolo, engineer, to welcome the students and pupils and teachers into the assembly. And I wish them all the best as they learn through the proceedings of this assembly. Engineer Ndolo is a very senior member of our Muungano party. He's the deputy leader of minority. And we must recognize and also appreciate the people of Ukia Ward for giving us such a diligent public officer. And we wish them all the best. They also think about re-electing back into this assembly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I must stand and also support what Honorable Mbalo has presented on this statement, Honorable Speaker. We are very much perturbed that the chief officer or the Department of Water is trying to bypass whatever we agreed with them in terms of making water accessible to every citizen of our wards, Honorable Speaker. We've been supporting Kimawasco through the department, and Kimawasco has been doing a good job. Now that they don't want to use Kimawasco to run these projects, Honorable Speaker, it depicts a lot of issues to do with running down this department and also water access to the people of Kikumbulu, South and North, Honorable Speaker. When they want to bring contractors, Honorable Speaker, and we have seen how expensive it is to bring these contractors as opposed to having Kimawasco running these projects, Honorable Speaker, it is very expensive, Honorable Speaker, and I wish to come out very strongly against the actions of the department in bringing a contractor to do a Kimawasco project within Kikumbulu North or South, Honorable Speaker. I had the same issue to do with my projects, Honorable Speaker, and it was very bitter for me and my people learning that the plan for the department was to use our monies we had allocated to procure contracts, Honorable Speaker, against the wills and also the wishes of the people of Kikumbulu. Honorable Speaker, we should make this department be responsible enough by making sure that those funds are allocated and taken into Kimoasco coffers, Honorable Speaker, and Kimoasco has always been supporting the communities through this water access. Honorable Speaker, to achieve a project worth 5 million, Honorable Speaker, that is a 4.5 million through a contractor, who would have spent a quarter of that much to do a good quality masonry tank within Kathiaka area, Honorable Speaker. But the department is going ahead. Maybe they are promised of they are promised these kickbacks or something, Honorable Speaker. We may not know. This is just an allegement, Honorable Speaker, and we may not even say, but it is the true fact on the ground that when the money goes through Kimoasco, it is well and prudently spent than when it is going through the department, through the contractors, Honorable Speaker. So this should be serving as a warning sign to the Chair Committee on Water that whenever we go, I'm not talking about the chair. The chair is the person representing the department here, Honorable Speaker. I'm not warning the chair, but the chair has a responsibility as an oversight body, because the chair is oversighting the department or committee on water, Honorable Speaker. So because we will not directly touch the minister, we will touch the chairperson who represents the minister in this assembly, Honorable Speaker, to make sure that at least whenever the budgets are passed by this assembly, they must be observed to the letter. The Honorable Member for Kikumbulu North indicated in the budget that these resources will be spent by Kimoasco, Honorable Speaker. Now, the minister is bypassing that and going ahead and procuring a contract and a private partnership, Honorable Speaker. We will not allow that. So the minister, through the chair, should come out clearly to tell us what motivations made him secure contracts through a private contractor, other than what the Honorable Member for Kikumbulu, who is representing people. He is not representing himself. He has been elected by the people of Kikumbulu North to represent their issues. And during the public participation, Honorable Speaker, the people gave him a lot of instructions and very clear and conclusive and comprehensive instructions that Kimoasco should be in charge when it comes to contracting or procuring the masonry tank, Honorable Speaker. So the chair should clearly indicate to this assembly, and we need to outline this in our responses. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I wish the people of Kikumbulu North will get service and also value for their monies. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. And honorable members, allow me ask you to be a bit brief on the comments for the said statement because of the business that is ahead of us. I can see a number of us have pressed the buttons. Member for Masongaleni Ward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As before I join my colleagues in adding some more weight on the statement from the Honorable Member from Kikumbulu North, Honorable Speaker, allow me to join the House and the Honorable Member from Ukea Ward in welcoming the good students from Ukea Ward and send with them greetings to their parents and residents of Ukea Ward, and appreciate them for allowing us to have this good engineer in the House, Mr. Speaker. Getting to the subject matter, Mr. Speaker, I am reliably informed, Mr. Speaker, that there is a circular that was issued by the Executive Committee member for Finance, Makueni County, directing that no further monies should be forwarded to Kimoasco to implement the projects we've been implementing, Mr. Speaker. When I joined this House, Mr. Speaker, I learned from the good experience of the members who are in the Second Assembly, Mr. Speaker. And this was in comparison to contractual works versus works expended to Kimawasco for implementation, Mr. Speaker. My particular concern was drawn to a project in my ward that I had allocated funds, Mr. Speaker, in this financial year. But after the circulation of that circular, Mr. Speaker, by the ECM Finance, the engineer in charge of Kibwezi East gave me a call telling me that the monies were not enough to implement the project. Yet, when being undertaken by Kimawasco, Mr. Speaker, the monies would even have been more than enough, Mr. Speaker. And then we happened to have been with the honorable member from Tutuandei, and I think this is a matter to be quickly handled by all members that are being served by Kimawasco, Mr. Speaker, because if we don't come in to rescue the situation as early as this, Mr. Speaker, we will be losing a lot of money that is supposed to be used prudently to help the people of Makueni County, Mr. Speaker. Because when you give monies to Kimawasco, Mr. Speaker, the amount of work versus the money they spend is relatively lower as compared to the money given to the contractors, Mr. Speaker. So I don't understand how in a budget that was approved by this House, Mr. Speaker, especially in my ward, Mr. Speaker, and I had clearly quoted in my budget line that my project will be implemented by Kimawasco. How did the department go ahead and start procuring a contractor when the budget line clearly indicates that the project is supposed to be done by Kimawasco, Mr. Speaker? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Noted that we, yes, we had the leader of the majority, and we have, that is, before the leader of majority, we have member for Bunge ward. Member for Bunge, then leader of majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join my colleagues in welcoming the students from Ukea, where we have the my deputy minority leader, Honorable Engineer. Welcome and learn from this is the best assemblies out of the 47. So you are in the best place to learn. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I want to...
What is the point of order? Member from Betine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the member who is on the floor belongs to the minority side and is contributing from the majority side. Is he not?
Member for Bunge. Member for Bunge on that point of order.
I want to be informed.
Member for Bunge.
I want to be informed.
He didn't say it is you. To inform who? For? All these are honorable members. Member for Bunge.
Yes.
At least I thank the Speaker for catching for his high, at least. All members, Muungano Party and Wiper Party are members of Azimio Coalition. They belong to the same coalition. So honorable member, honorable
Member for Emali, finish your point of information.
I am informing the member, he is rightly seated and he should contribute from wherever he sits. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Bunge. Member for Bunge on the point of order. Yes, I'll give you an opportunity. He's on a point of order. I will give you the opportunity. Thank you. Member for Bunge.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I am member for Muungano Party, and Engineer Ndolo is my deputy deputy minority leader, and seated here, Honorable Speaker, it is not an issue, Honorable Speaker. Because, Honorable Speaker, I came here to consult with my chair, gender, and then it happened that discussion about Kimawasco came while I was seated here, Honorable Speaker. And I thought it was, Honorable Speaker, I speak from this side and then I cross, because I thought that by the time I'll be making those movements from this side to the other side, that debate will be, you'll have closed that debate, Honorable Speaker.
In the interest of time, member for thank you.
I conclude.
You say it is not an issue, but you say you just crossed. Therefore, I take it from you that it is an issue for you to be seated here, but that you are consulting,
yes,
it is acceptable.
Thank you.
Please
I was consulting
go
my
on
chair,
and consult.
Thank you.
For the interest of time.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Member for Kikumbulu, you are informing.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, now I want to conclude.
A minute, member for Thange. Member for Kikumbulu, you want to inform member for Thange of the whole house? On a point of order, to who? Who is out of order? Okay, resume your seat, member for Thange.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, is the Honorable Member for Emale Mulala in order to insinuate that we are in a coalition between ourselves, Muungano and Wiper, while we know very well that we had an Azimio coalition in 2022 nationally, and we also withdrew some time last year from that coalition. Why is he insinuating that while himself, he was also part of that Azimio coalition and he left earlier than we had left? Why is he insinuating that and also giving the confusion that these are simply as coalitions? As a matter of fact, Honorable Speaker, we have not at any time this session had a coalition between parties as registered by under the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. And I'm not informed at all. So, Honorable Member for Emale should withdraw that and also apologize.
Member for Emale, on that, briefly on that, so that we move on.
It is very unfortunate when a party leader, a leader of a party, is not informed about his party. Actually, it shows how reckless that leader is and how unfortunate that party is. Honorable Speaker, I feel for the party members who are led by the party leader, Honorable Kalunda. Because as 25th of February this month, and I will prove you, I have the report from the Registrar of Political Parties. Muungano Party is a member of the Azimio Party. He isn't aware of where his party is aligned to, that he leads a group. So I pity those who are led by him. If he doesn't understand where his position is, so then what of the members?
Member for Emale.
Authoritatively, I can produce a document.
Member for Emale.
I can produce a document. Honorable Speaker.
The minority leader. Order, honorable member.
There is I can table an evidence.
Order, member for Emale.
Yes.
Order, member for Emale. Order, member for Emale. Order, honorable members. Honorable Kennedy Maneno, you'll be found to be out of order. Order. Member for Emale. You have insinuated that you have a document that you can table before this assembly. Therefore, I plead with you to go forth and forward that, table that document, and I will rule on the matter after that. Please do so. Yes, I will. I have.
The report is already shared in our group, Honorable Speaker.
Member, the minority leader. Minority leader. I have said I will rule on that. You raised on a point of order. You raised a point of order. I will rule on that, no problem. I take it as such. That's why I have deferred the ruling. Member for Thange, to finish your contribution, and honorable members, please, let us be brief to the...
Thank you.
On the same.
Honorable Speaker.
On the same. Please let us contribute once that document is tabled.
Honorable Speaker.
Once it is tabled, member for Emale, you know to table a document. If it is over the same, please allow us discuss that matter once it is on the table of the Speaker. Please. I will give you the opportunity. Member for Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I I request you protect from the members who are discussing. I cannot concentrate, Honorable Speaker. So I request for the two members of Kakaway, Honorable Speaker.
Please, the members are the member for Kakaway.
Yes, and the two of them. Yes.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you.
Take it.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Now, Honorable Speaker, I'm shocked, Honorable Speaker, to hear that the Department of Water is now procuring projects which have been initially they have been done by the Kemawasco company, which is in Kibwezi, Makendo. Honorable Speaker, if you compare the kind of works which the Kemawasco itself does versus what the department is doing, Honorable Speaker, it is, Honorable Speaker, it is double. In fact, if Kemawasco are spending 1 million, then the county, from the department, they have to spend close to 2 million, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, this one is the worst the department has ever done, Honorable Speaker. We cannot, and again, Honorable Speaker, there were no consultation. There was a tank which was done in my ward, Honorable Speaker, 2022, 2023, Honorable Speaker. And a very nice tank, Honorable Speaker, by Kemawasco. And currently, my people in Machinery Town and also my close friend from Masongaleni, they are being served by that tank, Honorable Speaker. It was well done. Our people have been served very well. Honorable Speaker, we cannot accept this. The department, if they want the 10%, Honorable Speaker, which has been going on, Honorable Speaker, let them get it from other department, but not, they don't have to touch Kemawasco, Honorable Speaker. If they touch Kemawasco, Honorable Speaker, it means that the people of Kibwezi East and the 3 wards from Kibwezi West, Honorable Speaker, will be in a problem, in a water shortage problem, Honorable Speaker. Kemawasco are the best, they have best engineers, they do perfect job, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, that one is alarming. Thank you.
Noted. The leader of the majority party, the same then Chair Water.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think I want to put my voice on that particular issue. Honorable Speaker, I've just heard from some quarters that indeed the circular which is being talked about is probably somewhere, but it has not reached their assembly. But if it's true that circular is in existence, then, Honorable Speaker, I would say it's so unfortunate, very unfortunate, that we can't accept such an arrangement. Honorable Speaker, the act which we passed in this assembly, the Makueni County Water Act 2020, is very clear on this matter. We said that the government can transfer monies to the companies so that companies can implement those projects. Honorable Speaker, we have tested and we know the benefits of those transfers. We know that the work which can be done by 3 million by the contractors can be done by 2 million by the company. So we know the benefits. Honorable Speaker, we are not only talking about Kemawasco. We are talking about all the other companies which we are in the process of operationalizing, Honorable Speaker. So we want those transfers to be as effective as possible. And above that, Honorable Speaker, above that, because we are not joking, we are oversighting this government. Even if we say we are the government side, we have a mandate under the County Government Act, Section 8 and 9. Our mandate is to oversight them. Honorable Speaker, we shall not allow CEOs and ministers who are doing business with our money, Honorable Speaker. We shall not allow that. We shall not allow the people of Makueni to get the service because somebody has some interest to make a little money from a contract. So it's very clear from this assembly that we want the money transfers to the companies to be done as it has been done before. Thank you.
Thank you. Former Chair Water. Taking into consideration all contributions made by honorable members.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I strongly empathize with the honorable member for Kikumbulu North and his people. Before I respond, I would wish to deep dive myself into a few things. One, as a chair, we are not in bedroom with the executive. Our work is to oversight them. So for the honorable member, one of the high-ranking member who was trying to give a warning to us, I found that one totally unfounded, because at the end of the day, we are a conduit of communication between the county assembly and the executive. So if there's anything, we should be warning the department. Point number two is that I have heard many members having talked about handling of the procurement. I believe that's one of the questions asked. So for now, we will wait until we get to know what conspired, so that they could be able to avoid the directives given by the honorable member and deviate from the PFM Act on procurement and see, compare the two, where are we lying? That is said and done. I would say that the people of Kikumbulu North are not going to die out of poor medication, as the honorable member described. They have come to the consultant who is going to save their hard heels of the sickness they are going through from poor workmanship. As a committee, we commit to give a reliable answer within 2 weeks. That means the people of Kikumbulu will be able to get answers towards their experience of what they are going through. Thank you.
Member for Kikumbulu, 2 weeks.
Yes. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving keen interest to these issues, and I would wish that these answers are given within 1 week, Mr. Speaker, because they are on the table of the chief officer and they were ECM. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, I would wish to add, because that question of why it was changed from Kimawasco was not, I'd wish that the chairman takes up with that, so that they also tell us why they changed from Kimawasco.
So 2 weeks are enough?
1 week. Mr. Speaker, 1 week, because if we move to 2 weeks, it will be delaying justice, Mr. Speaker.
Noted.
And justice delayed is justice denied.
Noted. Member
Thank
for
you.
Kikumbulu.
Thank you.
Member from Mavindini, you want to add something now? I close the opportunity for that, for contributions. And the chair responded with 2 weeks.
Mr. Speaker, are you saying that I cannot proceed? Or do I proceed?
Yes, we have already closed, but if it's an urgent matter on the same, briefly.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Or are you at the coalition issue?
No, I'm not
Thank
talking
you.
about, that is very minor.
Thank you.
We talk
Proceed,
about national
proceed.
issues. We talk about national issues at Kasarani and elsewhere.
Please proceed. You are under the mercy of the speaker.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I respect the chair water, but he has said he is empathizing with the people of Kikumbulu North, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker, I wanted to know whether he is aware that there is a circular that was issued by the ECM Finance to the effect that monies that member for Kikumbulu North, member for Masongaleni, allocated to be moved to Kimawasco for them to implement the project.
I will answer that on behalf of the chair.
Because
thank you. Because we are taking too much time
I
on
can see,
statements.
Mr. Speaker,
please.
it's like we don't have time.
No, we are taking too much time on
We
statements.
shall meet tomorrow, Mr. Speaker.
But
on the same issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The question that the member from Mavindini is asking has been answered by the leader of the majority on behalf of the government, that the circular has not been submitted to this assembly formally. Is it so, leader of majority? So it hasn't, and the leader of majority has contributed and said that. So probably that the member from Kikumbulu North has raised the issue, and the chair has taken the issues as raised by members. Chair, the member says 1 week is enough. Next week, Wednesday, at 2:30 p.m. Remember, we are from Kunji. The Speaker's office will lead by an example. That Wednesday at 2:30 p.m., please provide a response. Thank you. It's so directed. Member from Bitini, on a request for a statement from the Committee of Transport.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to provision of Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 39(2) of the County Government Act 2012, revised in 2020, and the Standing Orders 50 of the Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders. I rise to request for statement from the Chairperson, Committee on Infrastructure, Transport, Public Works, Housing and Energy regarding the non-implementation of various roads projects in between ward and the county. In a bid, Mr. Speaker, sir, in a bid to improve roads transportation within between ward, the ward budgetary allocation as of the financial year set aside funds for opening, grading, graveling, and the general maintenance of roads within the ward. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the financial year 2022-2023, Kenyan shillings 13 million was allocated for construction of Blutin Drift. However, to date, nothing has been done and no plans to undertake this project have been made known to anyone by the department. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the financial year 2023-2024, Kenyan shillings 4 million was allocated for roads maintenance in between ward. Reports indicate that this allocation was used up to yet not tangible roads maintenance works were undertaken in the ward during the period. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the financial year 2024-2025, Kenyan shillings 1 million was allocated for roads maintenance under the MTF program. A further 1,446,336 shillings was allocated to the same program during the financial year 2024-2025 supplementary budget 1 preparation. However, to date, nothing has been, despite the availability of these funds. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the financial year 2024-2025 supplementary budget 1 preparations, Kenyan shillings 2 million allocated for new roads opening in the ward, yet up to date, nothing has been done. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite the ward allocating huge budgetary allocation towards the improvement of roads in the ward, the department has been slow in implementing the project, hence denying the people of Bitini ward accessing good roads. Mr. Speaker, sir, the chairperson should therefore clarify on the following. A, whether the department is aware that the said allocation for the construction of Blutin Drift and why the construction works have not been undertaken. B, the plans the department has in place for the construction of the said drift and when works will be completed. C, provide a breakdown of expenditure of the funds allocated in financial year 2023-2024 and to be specific, the 4 million for roads maintenance in between ward, clearly showing the names of the roads maintained, the names of the contractors awarded each road maintained, and the amounts paid to each contractor for maintenance of those works. D, why the roads maintenance works under the MTF programs have not been undertaken in the ward and the status of the expenditure of the funds allocated for the same. The plans, the department has in place to undertake the roads maintenance and MTF programs and when the same will be done. And F, why the opening of new roads has not been undertaken in the ward as was planned and budgeted in the financial year 2024-2025 supplementary budget, and the plans the department has in place towards implementing this project, and it should give timelines. Mr. Speaker, sir, bearing in mind that in the next 2 weeks, rains will start, and the Bitin is one of ill areas that, as a motion was moved in this house. Mr. Speaker, I want the chair to be very specific on when these roads will be done. And this is not a story, it's not a story to go on the ground since the works have not started. I think they have the information in their desk, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairperson, Committee on Transport, Infrastructure. There's a member willing to contribute? Okay. We have Honorable Felix Mateso, member for Waterward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Honorable Member for this statement. I was just preparing a same statement, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me say this is the animal in the house, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, there is very little being done on the implementation of the roads project across the county, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what is happening is I don't know how I can say, because, Mr. Speaker, there is a lot of stories behind this project, Mr. Speaker. A lot of management, you talk to the ECM, but tries to manage you, and nothing is being done, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, since the last rains, Mr. Speaker, a lot of roads have been cut off and they are impassable, Mr. Speaker. Yet we cannot see an effort from this department of making sure that roads are being, despite big budgets that we put, Mr. Speaker, in our wards to do the roads, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I believe something must be done because this is, as the honorable member is saying, rains are just due in time, Mr. Speaker. Now, what will happen now if we've not done these projects when the rains are coming, Mr. Speaker? So, Mr. Speaker, I think the statement is okay, but I think now something else need to be done, Mr. Speaker, including calling the ECM here to explain what plans he has for the roads, Mr. Speaker, because we completely don't understand. I've never seen this for the last 7 years I've been here, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Member for Ilima Ward. Deputy
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the same issue of the roads, Mr. Speaker, if I remember well, we passed our budget almost a year ago. And true to the word, and true in backup of what Honorable Mateso is talking about, you find up to now, there are still some services which have not been procured. I come from hilly areas where you come from yourself. And you know clearly, during the dry season, the extreme dry season, you cannot dig the road because the soil will go down to the rivers. During the rainy season, still you cannot do the road because there's mudslide. And that affects the whole scenario. But to my surprise, I put 4.5 million for MTF, which ought to have been actually used to work for the roads in Ilima. But up to now, that work has not been done. We are going to waste people's money within the course of the rains. You bring the tractors at the rains time. We are wasting tax people's money. Why are we doing this as a government? I feel this actually statement is even an understatement kind of request. We need to call either the finance department here, the roads department here, they answer on the questions of why this is happening to Makueni people. We have reached a point whereby we cannot keep on just trying to manage the situation, manage the scenario. Some of things need action. And if there's no action, then we are just becoming a rubber stamp. We cannot accept this one to continue. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Member from Mavindini. No, member from Mavindini.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this chance. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, this matter is a thorn in our flesh. And I have, because I'm a clever man, I have tried to look at the issues surrounding our roads department. And I can only adduce some malice and corruption in a way. Honorable Speaker, I am not afraid to be quoted. I can be quoted on this. I have come to realize that the very reason why procurement of services for road maintenance and grading has to do with the directive that was meant by the governor, that there should not be a contractor doing two works at the same time. A contractor must be given one piece of work at a time. Do you know what that? Do you know unscrupulous operatives in the offices? Do you know what they did to effect that, or to go around that? They gave one contractor in a job in November, and they wait for 2 or 3 months for that contractor to finish that work until they float another contract, such that that one may have finished to now bid again. And that is why in a situation like in my ward, you may find I have 3 roads to be done. One of the roads was given a contract, a contractor was given contract in December. And now we are in March, and the other road doesn't have a contractor. And the budget was passed the same time. The scoping was done the same time. I mean, now you wonder what's the difference? A difference of three months. Right now, like to be real, in my ward, there's a contractor who was given some work in December. They have completed. I have seen the road among the projects to be commissioned next week. The two other roads have not been done. Procurement is not yet done. I can clearly see there is a scheme to have some contractors do some work, and then they buy time. Time is the officers buy time, such that these preferred contractors finish for them now to qualify to get the other ones. And Honorable Speaker, we cannot continue like this. We are getting finished. So, Honorable Speaker, I find that we must be very strict. We must be very firm on this department. And as I said another day, I don't know what helps this department. At times we get good people to this department, thinking that they are going to be our saviors. And then within a very short time, they get sold. They become as worse as those who were before. And then others come, we think that now we have gone to Canaan. Within a very short time, they get sold further. I don't know what we'll do. But Honorable Speaker, we have the answers as a house. We must get down and we must stamp our authority. Now, even if it means we chase someone, we will do that. Because if you see someone pull a twinger on you, the best thing to do is to pull it faster, and then you finish him before he finishes you. Because right now, maybe I will not wait for my people to send me home because of a mistake of someone in the office enjoying trappings of power and so forth. I will not allow. I will not allow.
Member for Waiaka Ward. I'll come back.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want maybe to give way forward on this Department of Roads and Infrastructure. You remember we served the Second Assembly with you, and at one point, the Department of Water had the same problems we are facing with the Department of Roads and Infrastructure. Remember that time we changed the ECM, we changed the CEO, and we changed also the Director of Water at that time. And the department was given, I think, 2 teachers to in their profession, that is. Honorable Speaker, I want you to listen to me.
Yes, you can proceed.
Yes, I want your attention, Mr. Speaker,
Okay.
because it's very important. As I'm comparing the water department the year 2017-2022, where we did an overhaul, whereby Ngumbi, who was the engineer of water at that time, was moved to advise the governor, and Honorable Kitavi, not Honorable Kitavi, Engineer Kitavi, was brought in the Department of Water. And I remember that the CEO was a teacher, and also the ECM was a teacher. But at the end of the day, not an engineer at all. But at the end of the day, water performed very well. The same problem we are facing with the roads and infrastructure department right now. Honorable Speaker, even the timing is wrong, because we are being told by the people, by the meteorological people, that rains is starting this weekend, which means if you do light grading in your ward, everything will be washed. Mr. Speaker, we are wasting money. Can we invite the procurement department here, the CEO, the director of that department, and also the minister, because we are not doing the right thing to the people of Makueni, and we are wasting their money. Thank you.
Noted. Member for Kikumbulu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to agree with the Honorable Member for Mbitini and also my colleagues on the ventilation. Honorable Speaker, it is very tough to do the roads in this county. It has been consistently very tough. And we thought maybe with the changes, maybe things will get better. But we have seen in many wards across the county that this business is not well done. Honorable Speaker, to even give a small overview of what happened in my ward last year, I allocated a lot of money for the MTF. And I was given a grader for 5 days, and it went back. More than 2 million just ran into drain, Honorable Speaker. This year, I allocated a lot of money to do these roads, just outside the contract terms. That is to do the MTF and maybe the in-house machinery, Honorable Speaker. And it has also been very tough for me because I'm not able to even follow. Honorable Speaker, my grader was substituted with a small light backhoe, Honorable Speaker, and that backhoe is not able to move. They have sent money, they have sent fuel just once. Then the moment the fuel arrived at Kibwezi, now the grader was, the tires were flat. So we started afresh. And it has been a very difficult, Honorable Speaker. My 3 million shillings worth of fuel is not accountable, Honorable Speaker. Nobody can responsibly say, I have spent this money to do these certain roads, Honorable Speaker. The only bit I have seen is with some few contracts, like some of my few contracted roads have been done, but after very heavy supervision, Honorable Speaker, with my office staff. Honorable Speaker, it is very difficult. When you look at the environment around the Department of Transport, Honorable Speaker, we do not have a substantial CEO now. And the CEO who is acting, the CEO for energy, is also overwhelmed. She is very overwhelmed because the contracts are too many and there is a lot of play in the department, Honorable Speaker. So it is good if the ECM for transport and also the ECM for treasury, Honorable Speaker, can come out clearly. We have allocated monies towards county machinery, Honorable Speaker, and we are not able to account for the same. Sometimes we are told the fuel is not there. There is no fuel station able to supply because we do not have money. The last time I listened to news, Honorable Speaker, I'm told CRF now is getting money all the time. In fact, national government is sending a lot of money to counties through the technocrat Mbandi. Mbandi is doing very well in sending money to counties, Honorable Speaker. But the same effort being done to get the money to other places and to other services, Honorable Speaker, this is not being reflected in the Department of Transport, Honorable Speaker. And these members will go home if they do not do the small roads around there, Honorable Speaker. And I want to challenge you members. I've done my roads in Kikumbuli South, but I can tell you, if you do not make those roads, in fact, you're going home this year, and they will not be coming back, Honorable Speaker. I can tell you, if you do not do well on roads on the 3rd year, Honorable Speaker, you will go home in the 5th year, Honorable Speaker. And so before you go home, Honorable members, through the Speaker, can you send somebody packing immediately? And I will be the first person. But with Honorable Mr. Peter, Engineer Peter Mumo, doing some good job, but people below him have issues. I want to be very categorical.
Thank you, Member.
Engineer Mumo is doing a good job, but people below him, Honorable Speaker, are doing a very bad job, Honorable Speaker. So, but I want to agree with them, the buck stops at somewhere. I want to agree with them, the buck stops at somewhere.
Member for Kikumbuli.
And it stops with him, Honorable Speaker. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, I want to challenge members.
Thank you.
I want to challenge members. Before you are sent home, can you send somebody home?
Thank
Immediately.
You. Thank you,
Even
Member
if it is somebody just on the
South.
streets. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I want to stand with the members that if we do not do something about these roads, members of public will be fed up and everybody will not find out.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I'm standing because of the Honorable.
Thank you. Member, take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Minority Leader, please take your seat. Please take your seat. Please take your seat. Thank you. Member for Thanke and member for Thanke and member for Emali. A maximum of 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate the Mheshimiwa of Mbitini for bringing this statement, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have a very serious problem. Honorable Speaker, imagine from last year, the month of November, I had a budget to level one of my towns called Machinery Town. And the works were done halfway. In fact, I have a lot of fights back at home because leveling was done one side and then the other side was left. And I have fuel, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have so many roads to be done in my ward, Honorable Speaker. But procurement has not been done up to now. In fact, I'm shocked if Honorable Kimongo is saying that three of his projects have been done. In my ward, there's nothing. You can ask Thanken 002. The road which is going home, it is in a very bad state. So, Honorable Speaker, what I would advise, Honorable Speaker, and I request, we summon the Waziri and the entire department to come to this, to meet the committee of the whole house, so that they can explain the plans they have. Yes, because we keep on promising our people. We are going to do under next week. Honorable Speaker, last year, 2024, November, up to now, and we are in the month of March, and the works were left halfway. The budget for 2020 to 2024, 2025, in my ward, nothing has started. Honorable Speaker, we need to be serious now as the oversight body.
Noted. Member for Emali Mulala.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, devolution was purposely meant to bring resources and services to the people. However, Honorable Speaker, it seems it's going far away from the people. On the matter of Bitini, Mr. Speaker, I sympathize with the people of Bitini because, one, Bulutini Drift was budgeted 2022-2023. 13-year project, 13 million project. Up to date, that project has not been procured. There is a connection, a corrupt connection between the procurement department and that department of infrastructure. You can't justify to the public, to the residents of Bitini, why a project was not implemented for almost 3 years. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, this is the high time this assembly should bite. It is not about getting salaries. It is also about making and delivering services to the people. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I think we must deal with this department.
Thank you. Member for Emali, Chairperson, Committee of Transport.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, you had not pressed your button. I can monitor from here, and that's why I mentioned the two members. Please, be honorable. I know when you pressed. Yes, I know when you pressed. So be patient. I am saying I know when you pressed. Yes, that is better. That is better.
Second, Mr.
Proceed.
Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for according me that chance to contribute to the statement that I
order, members.
Member. Mr.
Please
Speaker,
consult in law tones, please.
Mr. Speaker, if there is one department that has no into courts, quick and in Magoene County, is the Department of Infrastructure and Transport. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as they prepare to come here before this house
and get a true lasting solution to matters roads in this county. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member from Bitini, 2 weeks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy the chair is accepting that they have a problem and they will sort the problem, although there is no vacuum in that office. Mr. Speaker, 2 weeks are too long, Mr. Speaker. The rains will start in the 2 weeks' time. Mr. Speaker, my roads have not been done for 2 years. The drift has taken like 2.5 years.
Noted.
Once it is going to rain, there will be a lot of water in Mwone River. So I can't take 2 weeks.
Member from Bitini. Looking at your statement and the seriousness of the day, your pending works go back way up to 2022. So from 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025, and also another budget for 2024, 2025. That I don't think that urgency since 2022 could be within 1 week. However, Chairperson, taking note that the rains are about to start in the next 2 weeks or so, I believe that, and from the spirit of the Kamukunji, that all of us were there. And I said at the Speaker's office, we are ready to lead by example. Next week on Wednesday, please table a report. If looking at the statement, Chairperson, it is just whether, why, provide, why, and why. So those are responses that you can be. But however, I direct the committee chairperson on liaison to take note of the chairperson's plea, to do a general oversight on the status of roads and implementation. And thereafter, the House will make a decision to invite the department after you table this response for the member from Bitin. Chairperson, Committee on Transport Infrastructure, to respond to a statement regarding poor workmanship at the Kwa Jones Moane Boys Road in Watensio Road. Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that statement needed consultation by the committee and the member. And Mr. Speaker, we agreed that to do consultation by next week, after which we will table a report.
Member for Watensio Ward.
The reason why I will not agree with the chair is because he's very committed, is the chair. So let me agree with him. He told me that we should sit and do some consultations, and I will wait for that time.
Next week when? Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, the committee sits on Monday. So, Mr. Speaker, after we get the details or the concerns of the member, it's when we are going to table.
So Tuesday, 2:30.
No, Mr. Speaker. Allow the committee to work within 14 days because we have to get the concerns of the member, then write to the executive member. Thank you.
When was the statement requested?
Mr. Speaker, the statement has been around for a while until the member sought for a consultation to raise other concerns concerning the project.
We want to dispense with this business for the assembly.
14 days.
In fact, looking at the order paper, there's a lot of pending business, and we have just agreed. And I am sure, because I have given the other one 7 days, you can be able to sort both statements at the same time in 1 minute meeting.
That has to be done. That's why we are seeking more than 7 days because, Mr. Speaker, from today to Tuesday is now exactly the 7 days. And there's consultation after doing some finding from the member.
Member Faukia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to support my chair, Honorable Mulemba. The issue regarding a statement from Mateso, it is an issue we have discussed it
Honorable
in the
Mateso,
committee.
not Mateso.
Honorable Mateso.
Thank you.
We have discussed it in the committee, and previously it has come in this house. We had invited him for consultation previously, and he has not been available. Now, the last time we requested, because he wanted to drop the matter.
Vice Chair. Are you the Vice Chair?
Yes.
I want to ask.
Yeah.
Is the problem of the statement, Honorable Mateso, or the people of Nziwote, or the department, or is it the committee that is unable to solve the department? Because if you are meeting to sort out,
yes,
and the members agreed on Monday, is it hard to bring a response by Tuesday?
The reason why it is hard to bring a response on Monday is because once Honorable Mateso has raised the issues, we are supposed to visit the road. We see whether the issues he has raised needs the input of the committee. Then from there, we bring
Chair,
the report.
Vice Chair, to help the Chair,
yes,
when we are being procedural,
yes,
Honorable Mateso raised the issue in a statement.
Yes.
That we are supposed to look at.
Yes.
Are there other
the statement
issues?
was responded.
And it was not satisfactory.
Yes.
Because there were issues that were raised.
Yeah.
And you are supposed to look at them. So as a committee, you are supposed to have made a decision, either to go to ground or not.
The reason why we did not go to ground,
yes,
the issues Mateso raised did not bring them to the committee. And that's why
he raised them at the assembly.
He was to come to raise the issues he was not satisfied with to the committee. Then from there, the committee now was to visit the site.
So I give you 10 days?
7 days. It's okay, I think. 7 days. 10 days will be okay.
10 days, granted. Honorable Mateso, is that fine? 10 days from today.
Will be okay.
Thank you. Let's proceed. Next order.
Order number 8, procedural motion, waiving of notice period.
Leader of the majority party.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion, that notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order 65B, this Assembly resolves to waive the notice period for the motion on adoption of the first report of the Committee on Selection on the Harmonization of Assembly Committee Membership 2025, appearing on the order paper under Order number 9. I call upon the minority leader to second this motion.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order 65B, this Assembly resolves to waive the notice period for the motion of adoption of the first report of the Committee on Selection on the Harmonization of the Assembly Committee Memberships 2025, appearing on the order paper under number 9. The floor is open for debate. Honorable members, I now put the question that notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order number 65B, this Assembly resolves to waive the notice period of the motion adoption of the first report of the Committee on Selection on the Harmonization of Assembly Committee Memberships of 2025, appearing on the order paper under order number 9. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, the first report of the Committee on Selection on the Harmonization of the Assembly Committees Memberships 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on Selection.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopt the first report of the Committee on Selection on the Harmonization of Assembly Committee Memberships 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 4th March 2025. Honorable Speaker, the committee, this is the report specifically for the committee for the harmonization, for the placement of the Committee on Count Budget and Appropriation Committee. Honorable Speaker, upon the adjournment of the Count Assembly in December 2024, the first 3 calendar years of the Third Assembly were effectively concluded, as is provided under Standing Order 211-4. The Count Budget and Appropriation Committee constituted by the Count Assembly immediately following the general election shall serve for a period of 3 calendar years, and that constituted thereafter shall serve for a period for the remainder of the County Assembly term. Therefore, a reconstitution of the County Budget and Appropriation Committee was necessitated by the commencement of the 2025 calendar year. To this end, the whips of the Assembly parties nominated and submitted names of members to serve in the Budget and Appropriation Committee for the remainder of this term. Honorable Speaker, in light of the foregoing, having they received the committee membership nominations from the whips of the Assembly parties for the membership of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, the following committee membership harmonizations are recommended. The recommendation is, it is recommended that the Budget and Appropriation Committee be comprised of the following membership. 1. Honorable Dennis Mutinda Musyoka, Wiper Democratic Movement Party, a male. 2. Honorable Francis Munyao Mutuku, Wiper Democratic Movement Party, a male. 3. Honorable Joyce Mwende Wambua, Wiper Democratic Movement Party, a female. 4. Honorable Fiametta Mwikali Ndunda, Wiper Democratic Movement Party, a female. 5. Honorable Wakatete Kisungi Mulinge, Wiper Democratic Movement Party, a male. 6. Honorable Harrison Mwanzea Mutie, Muungano Party, a male. 7. Honorable Martina Ngusia Kimilo, Muungano Party, a female. 8. Honorable Jackson Mwema Mbalu, Maendeleo Chap Party, a male. And 9. Honorable Joseph Mudheni Mwema, an independent MCA, a male. Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity to thank all members of the Committee on Selection for their commitment and invaluable contribution during the harmonization exercise. The committee also takes this opportunity to thank the officers of the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly for the technical support according to it during the harmonization and report writing exercise. Honorable Speaker, I want to confide to members that after this, the selection committee will do some little housekeeping, and this is inevitable considering that we have received so many complaints from members, and this harmonization will be done within the next 1 week. And I encourage members, apart now from the budget committee, I encourage members to reach out to the committee, hear their views, and probably their complaints.
Laid on the table of the Assembly on 3rd July 2024. Honorable Speaker, during the Assembly's 44 sittings held on 10th May 2023, the member for Tulimani Ward requested for statement number 16 of 2023 from the Chairperson Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs regarding the operations of the Makueni County Public Service Board. The statement request, additionally, the board in discriminatory manner changed the terms of employment of some employees who were on contract to permanent and pensionable basis without advertising their positions for competitive recruitment process while undertaking the same. The board did not offer all employees in contract a chance to apply and be considered for employment on permanent and pensionable basis. The member required the chairperson to clarify on the following. A, the list of officers who were granted leave of absence with the terms and the period of the leave of absence. 2, the list of officers who returned to their former positions after the expired leave of absence. C, whether the officers were paid gratuity at the expiry of their leave of absence, and if yes, how much was paid for each such officers. D, provide a report on staff promotions since 2021, clearly stating the process used in such promotions, and in cases where advertisements were placed, provide a copy of advertisement, application receipt, and the criteria used in arriving at successful applicants, including interviews, results, even. E, provide the list of promotions requests received by the board since 2021, and indicate the status of consideration of each request. Further, for requests which have not been considered, if any, provide reason for such non-consideration. F, provide a list of all staff who were on contract and whose terms of employment have since changed to permanent and pensionable. Provide a criteria through which the changes were made. Provide the scheme of service for recruitment, promotion, and remuneration of all employees of the county executive. H, provide the status and terms of employment of all ward development officers and ward water officers. I, provide the status of terms of employment of all ward development officers and ward officers. Committee wrote to ECM and was responded via letter reference number GMC/D PPCA and SP/CC/CA volume 5 121 dated 23rd June 2023 as follows. The list of officers who are granted the leave of absence were with the terms and period of the leave of absence. Mr. Speaker, we were given a list of 10 employees and their substantive position and their P number. Mr. Speaker, let me not go through all the names, Mr. Speaker, because this document is a used document. After thorough perusal of the personal files of the above officers, confirms that 5 of them were completely recruited in 2014 to serve within the county public service at various grades as indicated, while 2 of the officers, Mr. Ngumbi and Mr. Musyoki, had been recruited by the national government before devolution. The County Public Service Board in 2017, in compliance with Section 45(1)A of the County Government Act 2012, advertised for 14 vacancies in the grade of county chief officers in the Daily Nations under the Standard newspaper of Thursday, August 31st, 2027, inviting applicants from interest and suitable qualifications candidates. Subsequently, through a competitive process, the above officers' names were among the list of names forwarded to the appointing authority in order of merits, with a brief profile of each name of his consideration and a nomination of 1 candidate for each position in accordance with Section 45(1)A of County Government Act 2012. It is worth noting that the provision for leave of absence exists in the Public Service Commission Regulation 2020, which came into effect in 2020, but that such provision did not exist in the public service previously as annexed in 9. The list of officers who returned to their former position after the expiry of their leave of absence, Mr. Speaker, we have number 1, Sami Ganda Ngumbi, Diana Ndukumuli, Justin Nziokusuka, Damaris Zoyoa Makau, Engineer Martin Kitavi, Justin Musyoki Julius, Dr. Patrick M. Kibwana, Mary Muteti, Redempta Kavindu, Rael Mudhoka, as annexed 1. Whether the officers were paid gratuity at the expiry of their leaves of absence, and if yes, how much was each officer paid? Mr. Speaker, there is a table there with the amount which officer was paid. 9 of them were paid gratuity, but 1 was not paid. That is Rael Mudhoka. Provide a report on staff promotion since 2021, clearly stating the procedures used in such promotions. And in cases where advertisements were placed, provide a copy of an advertisement application received under the criteria used in arriving at the successful applicants, including interviews and resource events. Promotions are intended to fill staffing gaps, boost morale, and improve relation to service delivery. In processing staff promotion, the board is guided by Section C52 and C53 of the Human Resource Policies and the Procedures Manual for the County Public Service. For positions that fall outside the common cadre establishment, the board advertises on their website, local notice board, and other social podiums, and a copy is given to the department for further dissemination to the servicing officers. Serving officers are expected to submit their applicants to the board offices within the time frame of the advertisement. Upon closure of the advertisement, all applications are analyzed in compliance with the respective career progression guidelines. Again, interviews and the selection are conducted by the Human Resource Policies and the Procedure Manual. In this regard, the board issues a circular on the procedure for handling promotions, both within and without a common cadre establishment in the public service as Annexure 1. If provide the list of promotion